Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Makor Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Alright. So I ran across this article, about government ministers discuss plan to implant microchips under the skin of prison leavers. Alright. Which, just like everything else, people in society is going to look at this like it's a good thing. These people are, criminals, all right, and, the masses is going to look at it like, well, why not? Why not keep track of these people after, they're released from prison? Just like with the medical advancements, why not? That's a good thing that's going on. People are getting healed. All right, he's selling you on the convenience of it. Like I said, the medical advancements, which may seem like miracles to these people. We'll know where all our criminals are at, so they can't, become repeat offenders. They can't harm anybody. All this shit, man. And, it's all trickery, man. All right. And yes, the implant, all right, is the M.O.T.B. As we've continuously seen these chips be put in people's head, as I bring up the medical advancements once again. And, now they coming with some more shit, man. We gonna get the criminals, man. We gotta know where they at and all this shit, man. And they may even, to get these people to take it, they may even, cut sentences short, man. Just to get this chip up in folks, man. You doing got a 5-year bid, you been in for a year. Look, man, you ain't even gotta do that shit the rest of the sentence. All you gotta do is take this so we'll know where you at. And, niggas is gonna jump at that shit. Who wanna be in jail? Unless y'all boss shit, man, I was shy of the spirit on these men that's in the prison to know better, but, a nigga gonna jump at that, man, But, I'm gonna get into the article, man. And there go the device right there, man. That's gonna be planted within you, man. All right. Government ministers are considering proposals for a high-tech justice system, which critics say would have profound implications for the human rights and safety of prisoners. It says ideas put forward by technology companies at a roundtable attended by prison minister Lord Timpson and senior Ministry of Justice officials include tracker chips implanted under the skin of people leaving prison, moving prisoners around the country in driverless vehicle and robot-run jails. All right. Key thing is tracker chips implanted under the skin. All right. This is the M.O.T.B, man. All right. This is the carotid. This is the incision. How the fuck they gonna put something under your skin if they don't cut into it? Crazy. We look at the forehead. Y'all seen a nigga? I did a video, I believe it was last week, where this nigga had a big ass scar on his head because they gotta cut into this shit. It says, although the meeting took place a year ago, many of the ideas discussed have remained secret until now. While some sound far-fetched, MOJ sources told Inside Time last month that they all remain under consideration and none have been ruled out. And it's not going to be ruled out, all right, because that's the prophecy, man. It says, hey, how you doing? It says minutes of the meeting obtained by this newspaper show that Lord Timpson led a discussion in which the tech bosses were asked what could a digital data and technology enabled justice system look like in 2050. Among the proposals noted in the minutes were real-time behavioral monitoring and substantious under the skin tracking could support health and behavioral management. All right, meaning that these people won't be able to commit, more crimes. All right, and this is how they gonna sell it. Uh, subcutaneous slaughter. Robotics could be used to manage prisoner movement and containment. Niggas ain't gonna be able to escape jails. You won't have to worry about these prisoners escaping jails and coming to do things to you, you know. Self-driving vehicles could transport prisoners securely and efficiently using artificial intelligence to predict the risk posed by individuals. All right, remaining the M.O.T.B as the Ministry of Victim Justice and Rehabilitation. It says Lord Timpson told the meeting that once in a generation reform is the only way we can truly deal with the scale of the crisis, cut crime and speed up justice. There you go, cut crime. That's how you gonna sell it. You know, if they got these devices on them, they're gonna be less likely to do some shit because we gonna know exactly where they at. All right. It says he added, I want technology to play an integral role in tackling these problems and making our streets safer. And he told the tech bosses that the meeting was just the start of a new conversation between us and you. All right, making our streets safer. All right, this nigga think he's slick, man. He saw as a slithery dude, man. You know, and this is how they pushing this shit, man. All right, convenience, safety, through medical avenues and shit, man. All right, it says Hugh Strickland, the M.O.T.B's chief scientific advisor, told those attending technologies like AI, data sharing, smart devices, quantum computing, and remote sensors offer new tools to address justice challenges. The minutes were released to Foxglove, a group which campaigns against the abuse of the tech by governments and companies following a Freedom of Information request, which does not gonna matter. Well, fuck freedom, man. It's freedom they be talking about, man. You know, it says Foxglove told Inside Time that some of the ideas sounded alarmingly dystopian and said it's worrying that justice ministers have sat with the tech sector to discuss using robots to manage prisoners, implanting devices under people's skin to track their behavior, using computers to predict what they will do in the future. And they're gonna sell you on, well, for criminal, if this man was a murderer, we'll stop him before he murdered. We know what he's gonna do. If he's a committed SA, when he get the urge, we gonna be on his ass. All right. People gonna take this shit like a motherfucker, man. You know, man, it's prophecy, man. Because, you know, the American people believe anything that's presented to them, man. People have a little bit more resistance now that Nero in office because they just don't like his ass. All right. But they can sell these people any fucking thing, man. They have no discernment, man. All right. It says following the meeting, which was held in May 2025, the M.O.T.B issued a press release, but it left out the most radical suggestions. The M.O.T.B Inside Time last month, as the public would rightly expect, we continue to explore technology that will help us cut crime effectively, help us monitor offenders, and keep the public safe. There you go. People was gonna eat this up, you know, the unlearned. Oh, it's gonna be safer and all this shit, man. This place ain't about to be safe, man. Most High about to let everybody loose in this shit. But they don't know that though. Alright. It says driverless sweat boxes in jails staffed by robots. On the 8th of May 2025 at a summit chaired by the then Justice Secretary Shabana Mahmood and attended by Prisoner Minister James Timpson, 30 led tech companies put forward proposals for increasing the use of the new technology to manage people in prisons and reduce pressure on prison places. Some of the ideas discussed seem sensible, such as AI to create transcripts of meetings. Others sound controversial, such as inserting microchips under the skin of prisoners, microchips under the skin of prison leavers to monitor them while they are on license, or using driverless vehicles to transport prisoners around the country. All right, so it's to monitor you, or as they're proposing it with these people leaving jail. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on them. You know, I already know y'all, he gonna sell it, man. You know, if somebody's let's say a sex offender, well, don't worry about him moving in your neighborhood. You know how you got the list and shit. Don't worry about that now, cause we own him. We can predict when if he get the urge. Oh, he was a murderer. Don't worry about it. He can live right next door to you, cause if he tries some shit, we own him. All right, this nigga is slithery, man. It says some of the ideas discussed. Oh no. I read it already. It says, but most of what was discussed has remained secret until now, when it can be revealed by Inside Time. And crucially, the Ministry of Justice told us last month that none of the ideas discussed at the summit have been yet ruled out. One of the government's stated aims is to use new technology to create prison outside prisons that would keep the public safe while convicted people live in the community. See, just said that. The summit was co-hosted by M.O.T.B and the Trade Association Tech UK. It was attended by a mix of large and small companies, including Amazon Web Services, BT, IMB, Microsoft, Google, Unilink, Circle, and Palantir Technologies, who amongst other things produce software for military use, as well as ministers, senior officials from the M.O.T.B were present. All right, and so of course big tech is involved because there's big money involved, man. All right, the meeting was held while David Gauck was preparing his report, which led to the Sentencing Act of 2026. Ministers were also seeking ways to ease pressure on probation. Right, that's how they gonna sell it to the to the prisoners involved. Oh, you ain't even gotta be on probation, man. You ain't gotta be on parole and all that shit. Hey, how you doing? You ain't gotta be on parole and all this dumb shit. Just put it under your skin. People gonna do that shit. Cause once again, nobody wanna be in jail. Wanna be in fucking jail, man. You know. Whose role will increase now? Ministers were also seeking ways. It says whose role will increase now. There will be more people on community punishments rather than behind bars. You know, and y'all can see niggas, you know, just you know, seeing, man. You see niggas in pushing this on other jakes, man. You know, we'll take it, man. So, you know what I mean? At least you ain't gotta be, you know, behind bars, man. You know they make all that money off of us in prison, man. You ain't even gonna have to, you know, deal with that. Cause I be hearing Jake talk about private prisons. You know, we gotta defeat the private prisons, man. They making all that money off of. They gonna make money off this too, dummy. Shit about to happen, man. Technology nonprofit organization Foxglove, which describes its aims as fighting to make technology fair to everyone and working against abusive uses of tech by big corporations and powerful states, obtained the minutes of the summit under the Freedom of Information Act or laws. It shared them with Inside Time and gave us its thoughts. All right. I don't read that shit. Self-driving vehicles, you know, all this tech, man. All right, I'm gonna go to this. Nothing ruled out. Inside Time asked the Ministry of Justice to clarify which of the following proposals are still being considered, which have been paused as impractical at this time, and which have been scrapped. First, putting microchips into people's bodies. Look at this verbiage, man. They just telling you, man. Putting microchips into people's bodies, which is an intrusive concept and would raise religious, ethical, and human rights concerns, but you don't have none of these rights anyway. All right. It says second, data sharing across all services, including probation, courts, prisons, and health providers, with potential data protection and security concerns over access. And third, the use of AI to analyze the potential risks posed by prison leavers. All right, so they trying to, be your fucking brain for you, man. Telling me if a dude get the urge to essay something, police gonna be at his door. Now, of course, I'm not condoning that, but they're gonna be at his door. As soon as you try to step out, man, this shit is ridiculous, man. Police pop up on you. Oh, you under arrest. What I do? Nigga, you was thinking about murdering somebody. What? Yeah, we know. Get in the car, nigga. See what this is coming to, man. This nigga is trying to exalt himself above the Most High. And all these words they use like intrusive and, man, get the fuck. They looking at everything you do, man. Recording you. All that shit, man. They don't care about the damn privacy of the people. They were saying, what was that, in the 80s? I think it was a term, or it was a book, like Big Brother is watching, or some shit like that. Man, this nigga ain't, come on, man. But it say, damn, what was that? Oh, a Ministry of Justice spokesperson said, as the public would rightly expect, we continue to explore technology that will help us cut crime, effectively help monitor offenders, and keep the public safe. This is how the hook, line, and sinker, man. So they gonna get you people, man. They added that the purpose of getting all the companies together was to brainstorm and hear ideas that may seem far-fetched and may never be taken further. Yeah, well, but it would be wrong to exclude them from the discussion at this time. Tech UK said the summit was part of efforts to create a fairer, better, and more effective justice system. Their spokesperson said it is essential that the future of justice is shaped with transparency, accountability, and public trust at its core. And this is what they're trying to get you to trust. That RFID microchip being put under your skin. Alright? But I ain't gonna hold you. Hope that video was edifying. Shalom.